Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
Before we get into the main topic, which is we're going to be dealing with ancient Egypt. Who was the ancient Egyptians? We're going to deal with that. We're going to deal with a little bit of the Anunnaki. We're going to get into some Israelites, Hebrew Israelites. Talk to us first about your program dealing with the Aten Tech 1. Did I say that right?
Oh, #1 on the App Store. Yes, sir.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Okay.
Now Aten Tech. When was Aten Tech #1 in see, now you're lying. Now there you go lying again, switching shit around. Aten Tech doesn't exist. So that it could have never been #1 in the App Store. You mean Aten University?
As I stated, and as I'm showing the screen because I'm so proud of it. And I want us all to be proud of it. Even Sinetta, everybody that played a hand in a role in my come up, no matter what happened, y'all know I give people their credit because I ain't no sucker. So
what? Did y'all just hear what he said?
And as I'm showing the screen because I'm so proud of it. And I want us all to be proud of it. Even Sinetta, everybody that played a hand in a role in my come up, no matter what happened, y'all know I give people their credit because I ain't no sucker.
What did he say?
So
he said, y'all know who all played a role in my come up. I give people their credit. I ain't no sucker. So we didn't just watch you shit on everybody who had something to do with your come up for the last 2 years. We didn't. You said nobody gave you shit. You said you did everything on your own. That was your story for the last 2 years. Nobody helped you do anything. You did everything on your own. Nobody donated to you. Nobody did nothing. Isn't that what he was saying? For the last 2 fucking years. Just because of you. So, so he might really think, because remember what he just said before this, you can't find none of my videos anywhere else. Except his university. He might really believe that and think that he's going to get away with this lie. Nigga, I have tons of videos of you claiming nobody helped you and you did everything on your own.
Everybody gonna get a little bit of this and everybody gonna be proud of this. And shout out to my jeweler, Brian.
Everybody gonna get a little bit of this. Your last joint was fuck y'all, I'm not giving y'all shit.
But as y'all can see, that's #1. That ain't #2. That ain't #3. That's #1 for education on the App Store, Aten University. Now,
you just said Aten Tech. You said it was Aten Tech. Nigga, you can't keep your lies together.
Say this. I have been #1 on the App Store since I've been up there.
Great.
So, since I went up there, I was #1. Now, outside of
he said he was #1 on the App Store since he's been up there. So that means now. That means right now he's #1 on the App Store. Let's check. Now let's look at this. This is as of January. This is this month. Who's #1? Class Dojo. #2, Canvas Student. #3, I don't know what the fuck that Duolingo language lessons. Google. #4, Google Classroom. So you're nowhere on the list. Nation ain't even on the fucking list. Top 10 educational apps for learning. Khan Academy. Coot. I don't know what the fuck this is. Mudo. #4, Google Classroom. #5, EDX. I don't see Aten Nation on here anywhere.
I've done more teaching now. Skeleton as well. Me and Sinetta, we gonna, like I said, everybody that's supposed to talk in the back, we gonna talk in the back. I'm just giving y'all what I'm the skeleton in the front. And everybody that I want to work with, I'm already letting it be known. Everybody that I don't, you should already know who you are. Now, with that being said, I've done more teachings and created more teachings and more literary work than literally anybody that I've ever met. All my references is there. My table of contents.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
He said he's done more teaching and more work than anybody he's ever met. You talking to a nigga right now that you haven't done more shit than.
Message.
And the fact that Sinetta let him say that shit to him is crazy.
Nigga, do you know that I can see you?
The fact that Sinetta let him say that to his face is crazy. Get out the tin can. I just now saw that. The fact that Sinetta let him say that is wild. You're talking to a man that did triple times more than you. You've met Phil Valentine, you ain't got more than him. You've met Bobby Hemmett, you damn sure ain't got more than him. You've met all the elders who I know, bro, what are you talking about? Can you prove any of this stuff? Because Sinetta, your channel is the channel where they say source up. He has given you a bunch of bullshit with no real sources. The only fucking evidence he's showing you to back up anything he said was that screenshot of him being #1 for 30 seconds. He hasn't backed up nothing else he said.
Message.
So,
You say, wait, what?
obviously that I may have learned or garnered from others, but I have independent research. I have 11 actual discoveries.
Allegedly.
I'm actually the one that found the origins of HIV.
Girl, bye. Bye, Belisa. Bye, Belisa.
Somebody's in the chat said you was #1 on what app store?
App so special is because I don't only have research, obviously, that I may have learned or garnered from others, but I have independent research. I have 11 actual discoveries. I'm actually the one that found the origins of HIV. And
you know what's so crazy about this 11 discoveries? He's never mentioned any of these discoveries. The only discovery he can say that he claims. Okay, matter of fact, let's Google this. Who found the origins of HIV?
According to Physicians Research Network, Beatrice Hahn of the University of Alabama at Birmingham presented the first concrete evidence of the primate origin of HIV-1, the much more prevalent of the.
Okay, so how did you discover the origins of HIV when it was discovered in 1998?
Emotional damage.
I was 8 years old, so that means you were 7. Pretty sure you didn't even know what HIV was. How did you discover something that was discovered almost 20 years ago?
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my god, stop fucking lying.
The origins of HIV were discovered 20-some years before he even had his first conscious, like, actual deep thought. And so, and he said he teleported. He traveled back in time and did it. But, yeah, I was only 8. I was 8 in 98. But, bro, what the fuck is you talking about? And then on top of that, let's give you that. Name some of your other discoveries. Because if I discover something and I'm the first one to do it, I'm going to remember all 11 discoveries off the top of my head. I'm going to write out. I discovered this, I found that, I found this. You only say I found the origins of HIV, and we can easily look that up and debunk that. Can you give us any other discoveries?
And if y'all remember, I did that interview with Judy Mikovits. My table of contents, all my research is there. Now, what makes this app so special is because I don't only have research, obviously, that I may have learned or garnered from others, but I have independent research. I have 11 actual discoveries. I'm actually the one that found the origins of HIV. And if y'all remember, I did that interview with Judy Mikovits, who was actually working in the lab on HIV. So I said to say this.
Just because Judy Mikovits was working in the lab on HIV doesn't mean you discovered it. That just means you were talking to someone. Wow. See, this is what I'm saying. He'll attach himself to something. He'll see something or see somebody doing something and attach himself to it.
What I'm looking to do with my app is to not only promote homeschooling, but to evolve these into physical schools. So whether they be completely private or whether me dealing with the U.S. government as I'm getting ready to deal with them, due to me catching all of the things I've caught that I will not.
Somebody said, but Polite got 90 books. LOL. Where's Trip C's at? Somebody said Polite got 90 books though. Somebody said, oh God. Laughing emojis. Oh man, they clowning the shit out.
Maybe I'll be able to take over the public schools and take over the curriculums there and institute curriculums in there. So for those of us that don't want to homeschool, at least if your kids going to school, they're learning real Black history, they're learning real science. Even for gym, if possible, with like I said, I'm gonna do it privately, period. But if public schools want to get in on this, I would even be willing to come in and be a martial arts instructor for the kids. So now not only.
So let me get this straight: a nigga that didn't even get past middle school is trying to start private schools and homeschools. Like, that's not no hating shit, but don't you think you need to go back and get your credentials first before you try to start a school? See, this is the problem. Like, he's trying to start all this shit with no background in any of these things. Try to start a trucking company, had no background in that. He thinks he's a lawyer, has no background in that. He's trying to do legal work, no background. He's trying to be a doctor and a healer, no background. Now he's trying to be a fucking school, build a school, no background.
Is your kids going to school to get educated? If Signetter babies is going to school, why wouldn't I teach them Muay Thai in school? And for those of you who think I'm, who need my credentials, I have the blessing.
You teaching them in Muay Thai in school, you're gonna have a lot of fucking injured kids, doofus.
Of those from the East actually to do it. Have a Man Kong in the world from the Man Kong family, who's an official Muay Thai family. I got the only one in the world. And I would never do, if Signetter told me something he didn't want me to tell you, I wouldn't tell you. So I said to say this, I want y'all to know I wouldn't do this without the permission of what I call the Blazing community. I have the permission of the Blazing community, and I have a hell of a curriculum. And also,
wait, what?
I wouldn't tell you. So I said to say this, I want y'all to know, who need my credentials. I have the blessings of those from the school to get educated. If Signetter babies is going to school, why wouldn't I teach them Muay Thai in school? And for those of you who think I'm, who need my credentials, I have the blessings of those from the East actually to do it.
Oh no, he didn't. Miss Peaches.
Have a Man Kong in the world from the Man.
Where who? Who? Somebody said classic. Somebody called him a nutcase. Wait, is this live? For education, you need to link with Ubar. Man, this guy is not well. Fan cured AIDS, that's what's up. Fam cured AIDS, that's what's up. But, bro, who? You said you had people from the East that are that gave you permission. Who? Permission to do what? They can't give you permission to teach something in another country, doofus. You have to get the credentials here. And where is there a Blasian community over there?
Don't worry, I'll wait.
I know a lot of them Asians are dark, like black, like me. There's niggas over there. But Blasian means half black, half Asian. Those are full Asians over there. They just look like niggas. So what Blasian community over there did you get? And we've never seen you talk to any Asian or Blasian person a day in your fucking life. Message! There's no Blasian community anywhere. I knew one Blasian my whole entire life. Her name was Sabre. Her dad was Asian and her mom was black. I still know her. But I've never seen a community of them.
Kong family, who's an official Muay Thai family. I got the only one in the world. And you know, I would never do, if Sinetta told me something he didn't want me to tell you, I wouldn't tell you. So I said to say this. I want y'all to know I wouldn't do this without the permission of what I call the Blasian community. I have the permission of the Blasian community.
Allegedly.
And I have a hell of a curriculum.
Allegedly.
And also was going to be incorporated into my schooling. And why I'm getting ready to work with Japan.
Allegedly.
Is because economically, what I'm pushing is the increase of the value of the dollar and the decrease of the labor.
Allegedly.
So, for example, right now, upon print currency,
you're getting ready to is the longest getting ready to I've ever witnessed.
Message.
You get what I'm saying? Like you're about to be and getting ready to last for like 2 years. You've been saying this for a year. We have not seen you speak to one Asian.
Stop it. Get some help.
I'm getting ready to work with you. Can't say you're getting ready to work with people who have no clue that they're supposed to be working with you.
This boy's a motherfucking dummy.
You do know that, right? That the other person has to agree to work with you before you go around saying, I'm getting ready to work with these people. I should have said that from the very beginning. I don't know why I'm just now thinking of that. I probably did say that before and just forgot. But he said, this is Count Dante's lie. Just repeat that. Yeah. You're right. It did sound familiar. But you do know the other group of people have to be aware. First, they have to be aware of you. Then they have to agree to work with you. You have neither, but you keep telling us that you're about to do this big shit with Japan. You ain't even do shit for the black community, but you about to try to do something for Japan.
That is blasphemous.
Listen to this nigga. He hasn't done shit for his own community, the community that got him where he was. He has not done anything for that community, but he's about to telling you he's about to go to Japan.
See, my dollar that I would like for Japan to print, or even the Japanese dollar itself, is 150 times the US dollar.
What?
So if I give Sinetta $1, I gave him $150. So with that being said, if me and basically every 4 hours that Sinetta works with me, he'll make $20,000.
Hell no.
Sinetta, the fact that you let him say this stupid shit and you didn't at least asking, you know, what how would it be worth more than how would it be worth $150 more than the US dollar? You could have at least asked him that. How is that possible, Pharaoh? Can you elaborate on that? And he would have had to tell you. He would have had no choice. But you sit here and let him come up with all these fucking lies. And how can a dollar that has never been printed be worth more than something that already exists? On top of that, he doesn't understand money at all because he doesn't even understand that your money has to be backed by a resource. He thinks he can just do what the United States did. Just print up money and just pass it around. Here, this is more valuable than everything. He think he can live a nigga think he can do what a whole country did. What the most powerful country did. Print up money and say, here, this is more valuable than everything. Even though it's not backed on anything. He has no gold, no land, no crops, no resource, nothing. How is this worth more than it's not worth anything? It's not worth the paper that is printed. The paper that is printed on is worth more than the dollar.
So if he only worked with me for an hour, that's anywhere between $3,000 to $6,000 he can make. So what this will do for the community is it'll keep more people in rotation at these jobs, and you will spend less time at work and more time doing what you want to do. And even if you, let's say, are not a rapper or a damn NBA star, even if you just make money at McDonald's, at least you can go get the house and the car you want. You know, it is not going to take that long to get no 401k. It's not going to take that long to do all of that. And then also, if you're coming out of a jail or a prison, you can go right into a job and be able to get out of a halfway house even faster, because now you're making money. And, you know, we ain't got to worry about people being late on rent, and we can fill these holes that need to be filled. And my app is what I'm looking.
It sounds like a great plan, but the fact that makes me mad is I know you're playing on the people's ignorance. I know you, Sonetta look higher than a motherfucker too. I know you're playing on the people's ignorance. Not everybody knows that your money has to be backed off of something. This plan sounds good to dumb people. I just searched for Otten University and I don't see it. Can I get paid too?
Looking to do with all of that is for my app to support that. But if none of this stuff is able to come into fruition publicly because I can't come to some form of agreement with the US government, then that is fine, because that's on them, it's not on me. But I'm doing it private regardless. And I'm turning my app into a podcast where not only am I going to speak about information, but you know, if you're listening to it on audio, is one thing, but if you're watching it, it's gonna be turned up. We're gonna have Freaky Fridays on there, we're gonna have females in there, we're gonna be lit, so I never can slide through there. And I'm turning my app to a podcast. So if nothing else was to happen, my app is being turned to a podcast. And we're gonna continue it. You on mute.
Yeah, this is good. The people want to see you back with this information, man. A young brother out there doing his thing, not just talking the talk, but also walking the walk and making this thing work. Where are you when it comes to the extraterrestrials? Do you still believe that we're not here by ourselves?
Oh shit, this is the part I've been waiting for. Somebody said that too. Somebody was like, he said, what house? Houses cost 32. Is the US dollar going to crash? This isn't going to work. But somebody in the chat was like, ask him about the aliens. You can't forget about the aliens. I was waiting for Sai to ask about them dead aliens. Let's see.
That there are other creatures or whatever on this planet. And if you ever seen one, I remember you talking about being abducted. Yes.
Sai know what he was doing. Sai knew what he was doing. I get it now, Sai. I see what game you're running, Sai. You knew what you was doing. You knew that nigga was crazy. You knew that nigga wasn't all the way there, but it's gonna get you some views. It's the same thing he did with Nature Boy. He knew Nature Boy. You remember when Nature Boy first made his return on Sinetta, right? It was like last year or the year before. Sai knew that nigga was gonna do what he did. There's no way you can talk to that nigga and not know that you was gonna get some good content out of it. Sai knew. He knew what he doing. Sai knows exactly what he's doing. I'm pointing the wrong way. I'm pointing this way. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. Sai knew what he was doing. That nigga knew.
Oh, that's what started it off.
Yeah. That's right. Let's get back into that, man. Let's go.
Yeah, they admitting it now. You know,
they are. They are.
I ain't glad, but that's what started it off. And yes, and I had it. Listen to me. I will tell y'all my experience I had before, but I had an experience when I got drugged. You know, I had another experience when I got drugged, and like I said, I do not have to cap the woman that was in my house. Right? I'm not even gonna speak negatively on her in this moment, but what I will say is the woman that was in my house, a spirit flew out of her body, an entity flew out of her body, and it went through my ceiling, and she excremented on herself. And when
you forget the part where you pulled the gun out on her because you were bugging the fuck out. See, I love how he skips key details in the story. She excremented on herself because you pulled the gun out on her and put it in her face, and she was scared for her fucking life. You bugged the fuck out asking if she a shapeshifter. First it was a spirit. Then you said it was an alien. Then you said it was a reptilian. Now you're saying it was a spirit that flew out her body. First it was a shapeshifter, then it was a reptilian. Now it was a spirit. 3 different entities you gave us when you told this story.
Flip-flop is this shit. You ever seen a motherfucker flip-flop on you and shit like this in your face? Don't crazy be flipping and shit.
But you definitely forgot the part where you went upstairs and grabbed the gun, put it in her face, and almost shot her. And she pissed on herself and passed out because of it. She didn't pass out because of fear of a spirit flew out of her. She passed out because you almost shot her in the fucking face. You groped her with 2 fingers too. Yeah, I ain't forget about that.
Wait a minute.
Look up possession, whether it be spiritual or whatever. The first sign of possession is your body uses the bathroom on itself. That's what excrement means.
Look, somebody put it in the chat. The shapeshifter.
For those of you who may not know, and she will tell you that. Like I said, I have not messaged her and told her to corroborate this story. I have not called her on the phone and told her to corroborate this story. I ain't called Sinetta and told him I'm about to say this. This is an organic story, man. That woman was possessed, and I put that on the fact that
now she was the one that was possessed. You know you're lying for the simple fact that he's leaving the gun part out. That's how you know he's lying. He's trying to put it all on her and make it seem like, oh, we was tripping and she got possessed and pissed on herself and passed out. No, you got possessed and put a gun to her face and made her piss herself and pass out. You were possessed. Not her. You was possessed. The fuck? What the fuck is you talking about, React? It wasn't her that was possessed. You was possessed. You came down talking about no fear. No fear. You trust me right now? Do you trust me with your life? Pointing guns and putting knives to people's neck? You can't fake fear. The kids is up there. But do I? No, what'd he say? He said, yo, they out here snatching babies, y'all. But the white folks I'm about back here with, they good. Y'all remember that? What the fuck you talking about? Matter of fact, we got proof right here. We got the proof right here, bro. She was possessed?
Yeah. I just told Waka Flocka. Waka Flocka just told me he believed in aliens, right? I just told Waka Flocka I shot a motherfucker in his head 10 times. Didn't I? Yeah, I did. I told him that. I told him that. Yeah, I did. I told him that. I told him that. Where did it go? And I told him I shot a motherfucker in the face with the shotgun.
She was possessed?
This shit real. Put this bitch on the news. This is my house. I own all this shit. Put this shit on the news. I'll pull my dick out on this motherfucker.
She was possessed?
So now I'm scared for my motherfucking life. Bitch, I'm afraid for my life. I got a knife. I don't got my gun. My bodyguard took my gun. My bodyguard, Ace Heru, he took my gun last night.
I don't know why that shit cracks me up, but it cracks me up every time. My bodyguard took my gun. Why did he flick the screen? But nigga, she was possessed. Oh no, it looked like you was possessed to me. That's what I'm saying. It is all fucking documented. React, he said you can't find none of his videos anywhere but his app. I beg to differ. You go down me and React play Young Pharaoh playlist. We got to give him the old one. You go down me and React Young Pharaoh playlist. Go down my Young Pharaoh Sugarfoot playlist and go down React Love and Hotep.
You better be careful, little buddy.
You better be careful there, little buddy.
You better be careful, little buddy.